Fold and press method triangular unit. Windows introduced rectangular units in her cathedral window designs, and also she worked with triangular units to finish the corners of some works. But I wanted to make a complete project with these shapes, so I designed 2 ways to arrange them, and I will show you how to make them in the following lessons. To make these units, you will no longer work with squares of fabric, but with a different shape. You cut the piece with the template and fold it twice to make a unit. When you join 2 of these units, you form the frame for the windows. There are many ways to make the units, and you can sew them by hand or by machine too. I'm going to show you the way that has given me very good results. I always make the units by machine, but you will find indication to sew them by hand if you prefer to make the units this way. Templates. Download and print the templates. Download the PDF with the templates to your preferred device and then send it to your printer. You will find the link to do it. Check the template section to find all the info. In this case, you have 2 pages to print. Make sure you have them loaded in the printer. If you're going to use them directly for cutting and ironing, print them on cardstock. If you're going to make them in template plastic, print them on paper and then prepare them with plastic. Understand the info. Now that you have the sheets printed, let's look at each one so you have a clear idea of all the information they contain. On the first one, you have the template to cut and press the unit. On the second sheet, you will find the templates for the windows and template 2 for the units. Remember that template 2 helps you fold and press the unit and on the final stage of the pressing and represent its final size and shape. You have the template to make the insert of the units too, if you want to make triangular flower units. Making the templates. You already understand all the information in the sheet, so let's prepare the templates. Check the templates section to learn how to do it. Pieces. Preparing the muslin. Check the cutting techniques section to learn how to prepare the fabric before cutting. Prepare the muslin so that it is straight and without the selvedge. Press well, maybe add a little starch to make it easier to stack several layers of fabric in one stack. Check that the edges are lined up and that you are not missing fabric in any of the layers. Cutting the pieces. Arrange the templates over the stack of fabric and check that the grain line is aligned with the grain of the fabric. Place the ruler over the template, aligning it with the edge of each one. Trace the line with a sharp pencil. Mark the fabric through the points you punched on the template. Cut 8 units carefully with a scissor to be able to practice the application of the window as well. Now, place the ruler aligning it with each pair of marked points and draw the line that will show where you are going to sew. Also cut the windows and the insert with your rotary cutter, since we are going to practice how to make the flower units. Organize the pieces. Keep all the pieces in order and place the template on top of each stack to know which piece it is. If you are going to fold the template number with template number 2, check that you have it inside for when you have to press. Units. Fold, press and sew. Take one unit and fold it join points A and B. Sew the seams by the line you drew before. You can make it by hand or by machine. Make the same with the other points, leaving the center open. Trim the seams, turn it right side out, and be careful with the corners of the unit to make them neat, gently pushing them out. Press the unit carefully and close the opening with a few stitches. Now take the corners and fold them toward the center. Be careful as you're pressing on the bias of the fabric. Try to get correct triangular shape and don't worry if things aren't too neat in the center. We can fix that later. Sew in the center through all layers of fabric and finish the unit. You can also fold and press using template 2 in the last step. Now take the template and position it, making the corners of the template match the center point of each side of the unit. Take each corner and fold it toward the center with the template inside. Press each side carefully. Remove the template and press it again. You already have the unit complete and can continue with the others. Flower unit. This variation allows you to add color to the spaces between the windows, and you can also use it as a separate unit. It represents a flower with 3 petals. To build this unit, prepare the unit as you learned in the previous section, up to the first stage of folding. Before folding and closing for the last time, place the insert of contrasting fabric into the unit. Secure the insert with a few stitches, keeping in mind that it must completely cover the base of the unit. Now, to close the unit, fold the corners toward the center and sew with a few stitches that go through all layers of fabric. Also, secure and sew the corners at 1/4 of an inch, going through all layers of fabric too. Check that the corners of the inserted fabric is inside the unit and secure. The block. When you have several units done, start joining them together. To learn this block, we are going to use 8 units. Place them guiding you with a skein. You can sew them by hand or by machine. If you like to sew by hand, join 2 units with the front facing each other. Make sure that they match well. Sew with a whip stitch from the start point to the end. Open the 2 units and you have the window frame. If you prefer to do it by machine, join the 2 units as you did before and sew. Be careful and check the end points to be completely sewn and neat. Join and sew the other units in the same way. Go to the seam section for more info. Application. Window templates. Cutting. Prepare the templates and cut the pieces of fabric. Remember that you don't have the seam allowance for the windows. The edges are rubbed in the frame when applying. Place the fabric inside the window frame and secure it with a pin. Fold the fabric of the frame over the edge of the window fabric, straighten to form the window frame. You can sew it by machine or by hand. Now, check the applying the window section for step-by-step instructions. Get ready for the project. To analyze the practice, you can use the table practice with muslin that you will find in the resources section. Take note of each aspect, whether or not you achieved your goal, the level of difficulty you experienced, and the time it took to do it. Analyze the process and see if you need more practice. Take note of the points where you have struggled and consider what changes you could make to overcome them. With all the information you have, you can now complete the time management table for your project. Check the resources section for more information. Read the tutorial instructions carefully and identify the different stages. Visualize each task based on your practice with muslin experience. Assign schedule according to your daily routine and start little by little, gradually incorporating these new activities. Choose the duration of each task so that you can perform it and according to your experience in practice. If it takes you an hour to complete the block, for example, don't give the task a half an hour duration. Take into account the stages that you have found difficult in practice. Consider repeating the practice before starting the project. If not, keep this in mind and pay more attention when doing the task. Now, go to the project section and let's get started.